Hey, this is Ryan of Love Spirals Downwards and Love Spirals, and I have some really exciting news to share with you. This past August 11th, we released the 25-year anniversary of our classic 1998 album Flux. In fact, we released it on the exact date of the 25th anniversary. So I thought I'd take a few moments to talk to you about Flux Deluxe Edition, out now on all digital platforms. So in addition to this being a completely new remastering of the original 9 Flux tracks, I think the most exciting part of this remastered release are the dozen bonus tracks, most of which have never seen the light of day ever before. So fortunately for all you Love Spirals Downwards fans out there, and for me, I've been storing all my DAT tapes. Those are digital audio tapes. That's what we used to mix down our albums onto back then. So yeah, Angie, my partner in life, she's my wife and my singer in Love Spirals, she actually was going through the tapes and found the original 9 songs for Flux, the 9 core songs. But in addition to that, she found a plethora of unreleased songs from the Flux era, all these songs that for some reason or another didn't make it to Flux or any other remixes or anything like that. And I'm figuring, well, why let these songs just die on these DAT tapes and never have anyone hear them? Because I was surprised. I haven't heard most of these songs since 1998, and I was shocked about how good these songs were, and I was really excited to share these with you guys. So speaking of these old DAT tapes, this Flux Deluxe Edition almost never happened. These old DAT tapes from the late 90s have, I guess, slowly been dying over time, and maybe my old DAT machine. Yeah, I've saved my same digital audio tape machine. I'll take a picture. This is a big old crazy looking thing. Anyway, I was having tons of technical issues getting the songs transferred from the DAT machine over to the computer in which I was going to master them on. I had problems with the tapes themselves, problems with the DAT machine. In fact, I had to go to a friend of ours, Nick. Thank you so much for loaning me your DAT machine, and I transferred some songs using his different brand of DAT machine. But yeah, long story short, yeah, it was hairy. It was several times where I thought, wow, I'm gonna get most of the songs, but I'm not gonna get all of them. But I was persistent. I wanted to make sure I got this done and got it done right. And all the songs are here safely, so if all my DAT tapes and machines die now, everything's good. What's going on there?
We have sound.
So back in 1998, I went up to visit my good friend and mastering engineer, Robert Rich, and he mastered the album. I was sitting there with him, learning how he does it, and I've picked up stuff over the years. I've had him master most of my albums since then. But fortunately for me, I had those original 9 mastered mixes of Robert's to use as my reference for beginning this remastered reissue of Flux. And I have to say, it's very challenging to try to match up, or even dare try to improve what Robert did, because he did such a fine job on the 1998 mastering. So my job was not to say, oh, I'm gonna make it even better or anything like that. I just tried to make a really nice mastering for the modern digital world, full of streaming, and this is not a CD release. Yeah, this has to be a digital only release. There's just way too many minutes with all the extra bonus tracks for this to fit on any digital medium. It's 147 minutes in total, so it won't fit on CD, it won't fit on vinyl or cassette. So this will forever remain a digital only release. Similarly to how I took the original audio for the 9 Flux tracks and just tried to make slight improvements for the modern age. Same thing happened with the cover art. If you've seen the photo, the original 1998 cover photo from Stuart Gow, if you've seen it on any of the streaming platforms, I don't know what happened, but somehow it's all murky on these platforms. It's just not very crisp or beautiful. So one thing Angie strived for with this reissue is to improve that situation, and I think she's done a wonderful job. It looks fantastic on all the streaming platforms. Angie actually tried to get me to make this Flux remaster 5 years ago for the 20th anniversary. But anyway, here we are at 25. Hey, 5 more, 5 better, right? But anyway, when we were going through the tracks a few years back, I found some of the audio sounds and samples that we used in the original recordings, and the one that had the most complete files was the song known as I'll Always Love You. And I said, wow, I'm so glad this bass line is here, because there's no way I could recreate that and some of the other sounds. So I pulled them into my digital audio workstation and started playing with it because it's so fun to have those original files back to work with. And that started our new remake of that song, which we call now just Misunderstood. Me and Angie reinterpreting an old Love Spirals Downwards classic, keeping true to the spirit of the original song and putting our own new, unique interpretations into it. And I'm super happy with how it came out. Another little known fact is that this Flux remaster almost had 2 fewer songs. When I thought I was done, I handed it over to Angie, showed her all the songs, all my work, said, wait, you left out 2 of them. I said, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I had those files, but I didn't remaster them because I thought they were already out there in the world. 2 songs were already on Love Spirals Downwards Temporal, which was like a album released in 2000, a kind of a career retrospective. But Angie said, well, if you want this to be the complete Flux, everything, you should get those on there, because I was aware she was right. Not everyone owned Temporal. Not everyone was aware of these 2 songs. I mean, Temporal's kind of been out of print for a while. So yeah, now we have the full, complete Flux bibliography here. And of the many bonus tracks on Flux Deluxe Edition, there's one that totally stands out, totally unique. It's different from all the rest because it was not recorded in our studio during the Flux era. It was a song we performed live at the Project Festival in Chicago, and we performed this song from Flux before Flux even came out. So this is the first time anyone outside of our bedroom studio ever heard the song. And speaking of our 1997-1998 Love Spirals Downwards studio, I should mention Flux stands out as the album where I started making music in a completely different manner than I had to for all my years prior to that. It was the first year I started introducing some digital audio technology into the recording setup, so I was able to cut kind of what people just take for granted now on their computers, doing some copy and pasting of vocals and other instruments. So it allowed us to get way more creative and experimental with how we produce music. In the old days, you had 8 tracks of tape, that's what we had, and you put a mic in front of the singer, let her sing, and that's it. If you want another part, you got to layer another part on top. So for Flux, we're able just to record little bits if we wanted to, or big chunks. Either way, we could process them in any way we want. We could paste them all over, we could loop them. I could find something she recorded 8 months ago and put it on a brand new song we're working on. So yeah, Flux, technological breakthrough for us. And speaking of reusing vocals that were recorded in the past, yeah, I reused some that were recorded in the way distant past. Back in 1992 when we were working on Ardor, the song Sunset Bell. That's the song that closes out the 9 core songs on Flux. I took some of Jennifer Ryan's vocals off there and processed them in a new way and produced the 1998 version of Sunset Bell from that. I'm sure something many people wonder about Flux is why is Kristen Perry, Suzanne's sister, on 2 of the songs? It's a really simple reason. Those were 2 songs that I was really excited about. I really wanted them to be on Flux, but for some reason or another, Suzanne had some creative blockages with those songs. She just really couldn't come up with anything that she was satisfied with. But I didn't want those songs to die and become one of these weird bonus tracks or anything like that. So anyway, I was determined they had to come out. I knew they were great songs. So I've worked with her sister before Love Spirals Downward started. We made a song or 2. So I said, all right, Kristen, you want to try working on a couple songs with me that Suzanne had trouble with? And that's how that came about. One interesting fact about Flux, the song Psyche, featuring Kristen Perry, was played quite prominently on the TV show Dawson's Creek, and that was the first time I ever had any music of mine played on major television. I remember back when Flux came out in 1998, there was a bit of anxiety releasing that, both for me and for Project Records, because it was quite different than anything I've released before, and vastly different from anything like Project's known for. They're known for ambient, ethereal gothic, and this is like a pop, drum, and bass kind of influenced record. So unfortunately, at the time, it did really well. It was one of our best selling albums as Love Spirals Downwards, and right now, in the modern digital streaming age, it's our most popular, most streamed record record. Another cool Flux tidbit is that last year, DJ Boardlord played our song Alicia on their Early Hours DJ mix on Apple Music. And speaking of DJs, this is my first release ever on the DJ sites Juno Download and Beatport. You see that guitar sitting there behind me? That's my Ibanez Tallman. I think I got it around 1996, 1997, and that is the main guitar I used on Flux. So I really hope you learned a few new things about Flux and Love Spirals Downwards, and I really hope you check out this Flux Deluxe Edition that I spent so much time on. I even talk about how many months I spent working on this to get it polished, sounding beautifully, all the songs transferred, like I said, safely, so that we can all enjoy these songs for the rest of eternity, or as long as like all the streaming services pay their bills, right? Keep the electricity on. So anyway, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for being fans all these years. We had a great time with the listening party on Bandcamp, seeing so many faces or names that we haven't seen in so long. People have been following us for literally decades, and it means a lot to me that I've been able to be a part of your lives musically all these years and decades. That's really what keeps me going. That's all the inspiration I need, guys. So thanks so much. Keep listening. Make sure you're subscribed to our social media, our channel here, and we'll see you soon with some more Love Spirals Downwards content.